Cybernation Uncensored.
Welcome back, everyone. Contrary to what you might be reading on the stream if you were here early, we're playing Blade Runner tonight. My name is Nigel, and I'll be your game runner for this evening, and these are my lovely, lovely little players and potential victims for this evening. Before we get started, this is, as usual, an adult stream, which may contain some adult themes, so if you're under 18, probably don't, but whoever listens to that anyway. Also, if my voice sounds a little hoarse, that's because it is, so fair. Before we get started, let's go ahead and meet our players and who they're playing, starting with Echo.
My name's Echo. I'm playing Echo Jones, fresh to the academy, but after a few missions, I'm feeling like an old dog already, so I even got a flask.
Shockman.
I'm trying to think where we are right now with the mission, but
We'll see with that.
I think I'll
Shockman.
have...
Hey guys, I'm Michael Shockman. I am playing Lieutenant George Stone, the new commanding officer of the Rep Murder Squad, as I've heard some people calling us in my community. Last week ended really in a really kind of confusing way, and George is still kind of tussling with the fallout of that, and I'm looking forward to seeing how things go from here. So,
George Lee.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm George Lee. I play EV1-9.3, or just Evie, a replicant doxy who is also new-ish, no longer the new guy on the team. And yeah, after last week signing the contract with Wallace, things are definitely very weird, but she is determined to find Elle and not necessarily bring her to justice, but make her pay for taking out our original LT lands. Well, she didn't do it, but it's all part of the same group. It's her strings.
And formerly Lance Noland.
Formerly Lance, I am playing, I'm not playing, I am Nolan North. You can find me here in the Discord Discord, as Nolan North. I play in a couple play-by-posts that were out, run Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland, which is really awesome. I see some of our chat members are in both games, which is hilarious to me. It's just amazing to see all these +2s come here, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, you guys like to mess with the players, and it's really good. Besides that, I play Elijah Payne today. He's quite an interesting character. He's very different from Stone, where Stone was very empathetic and was a weird father figure. Elijah is the opposite of that. He's kind of non-empathetic and very blunt sometimes. And
do you mean Lance?
Yes.
Do you mean Lance?
Lance? Well, I mean, Lance was empathetic, but Elijah myself is quite the character.
Okay. So, as the players have alluded to, last week, they were given an ultimatum by Wallace regarding this rogue investigation of theirs. Either you work with him, or you work without him. Realizing how beneficial his resources could be, you have chosen to work with him. And you have signed a contract against the wishes of your current superior, the new Chief Bryant. And, well, for better or worse, you are now tied to him, and whatever he wants you to do, you're gonna have to do. On the bright side, he has promised that some level of justice, however you define it, will be brought to your fallen comrade. So, we pick this up where we left it off, which is you outside the helipad, waiting for the the vehicle to pick you up and drop you off wherever you're gonna go. he told you that he would send information to you the next day. So for now, you're on your third shift today. Sorry, you're on your second shift today. Free to do whatever you want until then. So, what do you want to do? Oh, the helipad is going to bring you to Griffith Park, because that's where your spinners were left.
Yes.
So once Wallace's ears are gone and his soldiers leave, and you are back in your parking lot with the spinners, what would you like to do?
George is gonna take his spinner and is gonna immediately head over to his sister's police LAPD housing apartment, and just kind of sit down with her and just spend some time with her, kind of to not tell her what's going on, but just kind of vaguely hint that something good has potentially happened, and he's going to do his best to capitalize on it, to let her, and that could free them from what they've been dealing with now for close to 20 years.
So
But he's
you're
not going to say
going-
anything specific.
Right, you're going to your sister?
Sorry,
Yes.
George, before you go, Evie's gonna say, hey, George, can I ask a favor and borrow, I don't even know what it's called, but the thing, I guess your special lighter for our smoke breaks?
He will pull out of his jacket pocket the
Like the bug neutralizer, or like the
shortwave
Okay.
thing that he got from Wallace, by the way.
Amazing. Yeah.
It's bugged.
Thank you. I will bring this back to you.
Okay.
So you're going to your sister. Where's everyone else heading?
Yeah.
Evie's going to Lilith Labs.
That's certainly a
Follow
location.
Evie. It's since
Huh?
I'm gonna follow Evie, and the reason, I'll tag along with Evie. I've already done the 2 discs, and I don't think that there's too much more information to glean from them, unless you guys think that there's anything else for those discs.
Well, the thing is, before following her, that's up to her what she tells you.
Yeah, she's
that's
just going.
Oh, okay.
She's
She's
not
just
going to
going.
invite
then-
anyone. Unless you want to follow her. I can't stop you, but this
Wow,
is
yeah, then,
something
yeah,
she's doing by herself.
She just leaves, basically.
Yeah.
Oh shit. To Echo, I kind of like look to Echo and just kind of like tap him on the shoulder. Hey, do you want to follow her? Maybe there's something there that we need to investigate, eh?
Man.
Well, just to put this in
Undercover-
perspective, she's leaving, Stone's leaving. So there's really no, they're going opposite directions. It's more that you don't know where they're going. So if you have a reason to doubt, then follow her. I mean, why? It's up to you what reason you have to follow her.
George would have told you guys flat out that he was going to go and see his sister. He was not keeping it secret.
I think Evie would say, like, I'm gonna contact one of my CIs.
Then Echo, what shall we do then, eh?
Well, I was thinking about going down to the shooting range, or doing some other practice around the place.
Go get donuts and coffee.
I feel like we're in a holding pattern right now, and I'd rather get something done. Why do you want to follow her? Anything you suspect?
No, just in case. You never know. Shit looks like we're dropping a dime a dozen nowadays, so the more the merrier.
Yeah. Right now, this Chinion's burning a hole in my pocket. I got 15 Chinion.
Yo, fuck it, let's go get some experience and go party it up, eh?
I'm almost waiting for the call. As long as we bring our cell phone, as long as we bring our KIAs, we'll be okay.
Alrighty.
Back to
And
headquarters.
I just extend a hand out. I extend out a hand out to kind of just shake Echo's hand, and I slip a little baggie of experience into Echo's hand as I do that.
Echo, want to get into drugs this early?
I'm my partner's dead. My friends are dead. We've gone through all this. I was an unarmed hostage. I've earned this.
Okay.
I'm gonna go.
There you go.
Hang out. I'm gonna hang out with this guy and do experience and wait for the phone call.
Okay. Well, since the only ones who's got anything to do is Evie, then we'll take it from you, driving off away from central Los Angeles towards the snowy area outside. And outside of Lilith Labs, the about-to-be defunct memory lab for Nexus 9, since Stellene Labs is getting built at the moment. But for now, it's still up and running, and there are, however you feel about it, batches of replicants being brought here for their memory infusions. They're mostly being brought as bodies, or unconscious bodies after creation, so that they can have their memories implanted. So, when you come in, you will find Lilith right as you go through the front door. She's talking to the receptionist. She's asking for something. The receptionist directs her attention to you, and she, obviously recognizing you, looks over. Officer?
Hi, Lilith. Would you mind if we spoke in private?
Not at all. We can go to my office.
Thank you.
Of course. She brings you to the back, or to her office, closes the door. Is there anything I can help you with, officer?
And Evie takes out the neutralizer or whatever it is, what it's called, puts it on the desk. I'm sorry, I just need to be sure that this conversation is private, if you don't mind.
Of course.
I run into a bit of an issue. And I was hoping, or I genuinely think you might be the only person who can actually help me with this. But it's a lot to ask, and I really need to appeal to your humanity, as weird as that sounds, to not turn me in. I believe I have been implanted with real memories. And I need to know who did it. And I need to know why. And I need to know whose memories I have. Because I feel like I'm losing my mind.
I understand. I'll help you.
Can I roll insight?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Nice. And a crit too.
Mm-hmm.
She looks confused in a way that suggests she doesn't know how this happened.
Mm-hmm.
So you can almost assuredly rule her out of your suspect list. But she also looks sincere, that she clearly has empathy for the replicants that she works with day in and day out. That includes you. So she genuinely does want to help.
Thank you.
Of course.
I've been so scared of really Wallace or really anyone finding out. I did I looked through your database at a certain point, and I know that someone has definitely messed with my memories, and they wiped any trace of it.
I'll help you, but we can't do it here. Everything that's done here is monitored. Every equipment I use, everything that I do here will be logged somewhere, and I don't have the clearance to delete those logs. But I do know a place where we can go. She just takes her coat. Then she asks you to remove the debugger, like the thing that makes sure that that disrupts communications.
Yeah.
She goes over to her phone. Lisa, please tell my son to take over the operations for the day. I'm heading out on a personal errand. Yes, ma'am. Let's go. She'll ask to, for you to use your... No, she will use her car. You can leave your spinner here.
Okay. I'm gonna ping George. Like, I'm sure that there's like a share location thing
On the KIA, yeah.
on the KIA. I'm gonna share it with George. And so I don't want anything really to like go back that's gonna like make the RDU think anything's off, but I'm gonna say following a potential lead, just wanted to share my location in case things go lopsided.
George will respond back and just say, "Need backup?" ?
Not sure yet. Keep it posted.
He responds, ... K ... 999 to me if so. And he'll send an emoji of just a hug.
Alright. You're heading to Anemoid Row. Now, to add to your list of concerns, this is a seedy looking place with a bunch of seedy looking people. She, on the other hand, doesn't belong, or appearance-wise does not belong here any more or less than you do. So, roughly you're on the same boat when you come inside. She leads you to a very odd-looking shop, and inside of it there is a man with short, curly, dark hair, dark skin, kind of large eyes, working on some tech. And she goes up to him, away from you, but you can listen into them. She slips him physical chinian, some money, and she asks to use a couple of machineries. He looks to her. What you are asking is very dangerous. That's why I'm paying you extra for your silence. Okay. He goes off to the side, reveals a door behind the shop that is not visible from the outside, and Lilith gestures for you to follow.
I follow.
At the basement of his shop, there is a sort of last generation memory lab type place. And she gestures for you to sit down in a chair, and hooks up to your head this contraption. I'll view your memories from here. It's completely harmless. There's a few ways to detect whether or not a memory was manufactured, usually through equipment like this. She goes into your head. You don't have to do anything. In fact, you're not even going to see it play out in your head. She's just digging through your head for it. Digging past the made memories into the implanted ones. It takes about 10 minutes before she's done. And when she's done, she's silent and looking a little stunned at the computer, hand over her mouth. Evie, right?
Yes.
Doc, do you have a CT scanner here? Of course I do. Just gestures to it. Evie, may I? Just to confirm my suspicions, do you mind if I... She gestures to the CT scanner. It'll only take a moment. It's...
Sure, I
It's
guess.
important for the answers you're looking for. If I'm right.
I'll do another insight just because Evie is
Sure.
just like super paranoid right now. Just
You should
is
be.
expecting for Lilith to just fuck her over at any turn.
What was that? Wow.
It's 4 success. I got
That's
2 crits.
2 crits.
I'm gonna roll shit later.
Nope, this is
How it goes.
not a trick. But what you do see from her body language, she's not trying to trick you, but she is terrified of what she might find out.
Okay.
She's moving for you and for curiosity, but she's absolutely terrified of what might come of this. She's probably more terrified than you. But that's probably because you don't know what she's thinking.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah.
But she
I'll go
has no
with
plans on deceiving you. She's just mortified.
Okay.
A part of her doesn't want to do it, but the bigger part of her needs to know. So you head into a CT scan. There's this large tube with a pull-out bed that gets pushed into the tube, and it basically does a full-body scan and imaging of the inside. It takes about 20 or so minutes, 30 minutes, until you're pulled out of it again. And the man who brought you here just directs you to the scan room where Lilith is waiting. From there, she's looking at the computer through large high-definition screens and zooming into certain parts of your skeletal structure. It takes about 2 minutes of her looking through this before you finally see a reaction on her face, which is fear and amazement mixed into one.
What is it?
I'm
Please, you're
Evie,
really scaring me.
I need you to listen to me. And listen well, okay? You can never mention this to anyone. Anyone at all. This stays between us. Because if it gets out, all hell will break loose.
Hey, I won't say anything.
if you see here, she gestures to one of your, I'm not a med student, the bone on your right forearm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This is your serial
The
number. Sorry, this is where a serial number should be placed on a replicant. You don't have one. You have one in your eye, not on the bone. Now, that could be a processing error, potentially. It's not uncommon, but do you know what cranial sutures are?
Yes. From brain surgery?
Not necessarily. Cranial sutures appear when a body develops and the brain grows. The skull needs to break open, leave space for the brain, and then repair itself as it grows, leaving behind distinct marks. She shows you the CT of your skull, which has sutures on them. To your knowledge, you've never had brain surgery. Replicants aren't supposed to have these because you're born in an adult body. Your skulls don't need to grow. But your genetic markers here indicate replicant DNA, or the kind of DNA used to make replicants. Evie, you weren't made in a vat. You were born.
That's... Replicants can't procreate. That's
A miracle?
part of our design.
Now you know why I'm so afraid.
Then
I'll need a sample of your
Ooh.
DNA, your blood, if you want me to find out. But I do have a working theory. You said that you might have been implanted with real memories, and I think that's true. And she moves over to another computer. These are the neural pathways that we mark for your memories. The ones that I've highlighted here are what have been implanted, but the ones here are the memories you've had after you were made. These dark spots here, they shouldn't exist. These dark spots were old neural pathways that were deleted, removed from you manually, which indicates that you have memories prior to your creation date, which furthers the evidence that you were born, but someone's tampered with your memories to make sure that you don't remember anything prior to being made.
I think at this moment, like, he's just sort of stunned and confused and like she can't even really articulate anything.
Just calm down. I have a theory about your memories. Implanting memories onto replicants is a relatively simple process. They have nothing in their minds, so manipulating it becomes easy. Putting new neural pathways becomes easy. Doing so to a mind that was born, replicant or not, is much more difficult, because they would have accumulated memories from the life they've been leading. It's why recalibrating a replicant often involves removing all the memories they've had to that point. But even then, it becomes more difficult. The easier way to implant memories to something that's already experienced them firsthand is to use memories related to them. What I mean is, these
They're from a
memories you've been
parent.
having, either a parent or you were there when those memories happened. As a child, maybe even as an infant, something your brain processed but was taken from you. It would be easier to implant the memories if you were there, even if they belong to someone else, because your brain would process it better. I can bring those memories to the surface if you want, but it'll take some doing and a bit of preparation.
Yeah, I don't.
But honestly, if I were you, I might leave it here and just don't look back. This kind of information, this is the kind of thing that starts wars. I'm sorry.
Do you have any inclination of whose child I am?
I can draw a blood sample from you and do a test of all the replicants that have come through the Tyrell lab. Based on your DNA, you are the child of 2 replicants. Is that something you want me to do?
I don't know. I want to trust you. And I mean, you've given me no reason to not, but I mean, I don't. I'm sure you can understand why I'm apprehensive of giving you my DNA. I don't know.
I understand. Here. He takes out the chip. This has all the information I just scanned out of you today. You have another doctor, someone you trust. Have them look at it.
Right. Could I, if I wanted to give you my DNA, would I just go back to the labs? Or?
I'd be doing it here. Like I said, everything I do at the labs is tracked.
Okay. Okay.
If you'd like to stay here for a few more hours, you can watch me process it.
Yes. Yeah, we can do that. And I don't want to put you or your son in any danger or anything like that, but we've already opened Pandora's box. I have to know.
It's too late for that already, and as long as this doesn't leave this room, no one's in any danger. She just takes a syringe. Just draw a bit of blood.
I'm not telling anyone. Okay.
She draws it from you. Now this next part is going to take your third shift because these processes take time. So, are you willing to spend your third shift here?
Yes.
Then I have to get back to the other three. Before anything else, second shift, do you guys want to try to get any specialties? If you have any promotion points? Otherwise, you can regain resolve if you're just chilling.
I would be chilling. I need that resolve back.
Gain one.
Done.
Gain one when you relax.
So where do I find the augmentations list? Is that under the thing? Because I have a bunch of Chinian and I want to try and up my stuff using Chinian, going to like Anders or something like that.
Yeah, you see the core rules on the icon.
The book, and then there, next to it there's the items.
Oh, the folder.
Would it be in the folder?
Under the briefcase icon, forge.
Yes.
So there, core rules, items, then augmentations. Synthetic augmentations.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Echo, you want to just relax and gain some resolve back?
Yes, that's exactly what I want to do. Down to 2, so going up to 3 would be nice.
Alright. George?
Hold on 1 second. I am checking here. I don't have any promotion points, and I'm too low on humanity points right now. Let's see here. Synaptic implants. Okay. You know, let's see here. I think that whereas Lance went with the ocular implant, and he was less of a speaker and more of a watcher. George is going to get the cochlear implants.
For listening?
For listening, yes.
It's 8 Chinian.
It's 8 Chinian. I'm fine with that. That's totally fine. And I will go in and head into I don't know if it would be at Andrew's place or if it would be somewhere related to Andrew's place to go and get that done, but basically getting like an inner ear type of thing that allows me to have basically supersonic hearing or something along those lines.
It's just a clinic. Don't need to go illegal, but you can have that put in on your second shift. So
I will go ahead and do that. Can you go ahead and add that for me? I don't know.
Yep, I put it in. Don't worry.
Thank you.
It's the same place where your specialties are.
1, 2. You said it's 8 Chinian?
Yep.
3.
You're down
4,
to 7.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh no!
We lost an echo.
Oh no!
Discord's been all sorts so weird this evening.
Yeah.
I don't know how to fix this. So we will wait for echo. It's
what
all
do you
weird.
mean? The overlay's fine. This looks normal.
Overlay's fine. It's your eyes that's the problem.
Yeah.
Your eyes are the problem.
Yeah.
I'm still in the right spot.
But before
You
I
are.
go into my surgery, I will on the KIA. I will message Avians and just say ... you letter U okay ?
I am safe. Is
Okay.
what you get back.
Okay.
As okay is
It's a stretch.
Is a relative term.
it's a relative
Um,
term at the moment.
Okay. Echo's still out of video, so this is still weird. But what do you guys do for your third shift? At least the few of you.
Besides chilling out and doing the experience with Echo, which hopefully he's back soon.
Yeah.
The information that I got from the discs, the piece that I got from Anders, the tech piece that I got from Anders, did I already use that? I cannot remember.
Yeah, you
think I
repaired most of the
did.
information already.
Yes. Okay. Man, I'm not sure what else to do. I mean, it's just really just a hurry up and wait type of situation that we're in.
It is. You can relax, you can buy stuff with your money. Would you like to spend that cash?
I think I might actually consider getting myself a specialty.
I know, Echo's gone again.
Oh no. I might actually pick up the sniper perk. Or the sniper specialty. Get some training in on that.
It's a good one.
Do you
It's
have
a really
enough promotion
good one.
points?
Ooh, actually no, I don't.
Would-
That's right. Because specialty is
Actually-
5. Yes, never mind.
If you want, you can spend the Chinyan and try to do the reverse. Bribe people to give you promotion points or give you recognition. You spend the Chinyan and
You
you
know
roll connections, and whether you pass or fail, the Chinyan's gone.
Screw it, let's do it.
Spend the Chinyan.
Connections roll, here we go.
Hey, there he is.
Push.
Gone.
There he is.
3+2s moving around, but
There we go. There we go.
Great.
Got it.
so you have that, then you can just remove the 4 Chinyan instead because you're spending 5 for a specialty. And I guess you're going to the shooting range. Because you're getting sniper. You're getting
Go to the
sniper, right?
shooting range, I'll join you.
Oop. Yep. Gives you advantage when shooting at long range or further. Okay. So, what is everyone else doing for their third shift?
Is this this was the same one that I got the thing taken care of, right?
That's your second.
Ocular. That's my second. Okay.
Oh, sorry, no, you
Um,
spent it with your sister. So yes, it is the third.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that leaves Echo.
Are you actually going to the shooting range?
Yeah, I'm going to the shooting range to practice on my long range skills with the sniper. That's probably just dialing in, honing in, probably just doing the whole targets out at 150 meters, and then just like slowly level or sighting in the scope on this rifle.
I'll join you. I think I'm gonna. I want to work on that, and I think I'll use my 5 promotion points. I think it's 5, right?
Yep. You also want to
I'll
get
use
sniper?
No. I just want to up my
You're just gonna shoot?
firearms ability.
Oh, that's uses humanity, not promotion.
Oh, really? Okay, I'll just use
But
that.
your firearms is
Humanity?
C, so it should be 10 humanity. Let me check. It should be 10 humanity, I believe. Yeah,
Well, I
10
do
humanity
have
to get
10
from C
humanity.
to
Is there
B.
any downside to going to 0?
That's it. 10 humanity.
Is there any downside? Is there any downside to having 0 humanity?
No, they're meant to be used for this.
Besides philosophical reasons.
Unlike cyberpunk, humanity is a currency here.
You're meant to
I
use
will
it.
use all 10 of my humanity, and
Okay. You're
I
going
get my
from C to
firearm score
B.
to 10. B.
Great. Okay. So, once
Maybe we shoot
again,
off.
back to Evie. Third shift over, or once towards the end of it, she draws your blood. She does a scan of it. Your memories belong to a pre-prohibition replicant made by Tyrell Corporation. I still have his record. He was codenamed Peter. The mother is another replicant, also from the same era. Wendy, and they were both drafted into the wars. And when the prohibition was enacted, it was shut down, and they were retired by Blade Runners. But your DNA matches both of theirs. And your memories seem to take place when you were already conceived. The memory you have outside of the house that seemed to be prominent in your mind, the mother was there in the car waiting.
But I guess the only thing I'm confused about is how did I end up at Wallace? And why do I have the Nexus 9 insignia on my
On it.
eye?
So the serial number can be implanted easily. But you can't implant it in the bone that's already been made without leaving a surgical scar. It's likely someone at Wallace, maybe Wallace himself, knew about this. There are records of you entering the Wallace facility, entering Lilith Labs, having your memories placed in you. Someone altered them. I imagine that the records you found that you mentioned were people deleting your prior memories.
Do you have any idea who did this?
There are only a handful of people with access to the lab. Myself and my son, but my son doesn't have the ability to do that. To delete memories is a sophisticated practice that he hasn't been trained in. I'm capable of it, but he shakes their head. I'm
If you did this,
terrified
you
at the
wouldn't be-
prospect.
You wouldn't be helping me.
And the other individuals or whoever Neander Wallace believes is worthy of having it. I can retrieve your full memories if you want. Not the ones that were removed from your mind, those are gone. But the implanted memories, they came from somewhere, and if you give me time, I can search through it and maybe get a full picture of Peter and Wendy's life and see where that left you. But is this something you want to do? Is this a can of worms you want to open?
I honestly don't know.
Okay, I will.
Can I have some time to think?
She nods. I'll prepare to do it, and I'll collect the information. And if you don't return to me within the next 3 days, I'll assume that you don't want it. But I'll have it ready just in case, okay?
Thank you.
Takes your hand, just
And
pats it.
I'm
Just-
sorry.
No, I chose this as much as you did. But please, you can't tell anyone.
I won't.
Okay. I'll drive you back. She drives you to get your spinner. And we have your downtime.
Amazing.
What are you gonna do? You're the only one separated from most of the group. What do you want to do?
I think Evie's just gonna find like a really crowded bar or nightclub to sort of just get lost in and buy a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue with my chinion
Peavy's Bar,
and yeah.
referred to as Doxy Heaven. Safe haven for replicants and sympathizers. So you're amongst your
Amazing.
kind.
I'm amongst my kind. Incredible. And yeah, I'm just gonna be like holed up in like a corner Strider style, just like just
Unwinding.
to myself. Yeah.
Because
Just
that was
fully knocking back a full bottle of whiskey.
The question is, do you have enough cigarettes?
You can
let's-
never have enough cigarettes.
Not for that, no.
Not for that.
No, not after that shit.
Oh my
Let
god.
me- check something. Because I think since you're casually doing this, let's... Okay. I'm giving you 1 humanity point for learning something that made you view the world differently. I assume this counts.
No, everything's normal and fine, and as it was.
And then another humanity point for learning something significant about your own life. Definitely counts.
Uh,
Because let your cat have his 15 minutes of fame.
yeah.
Another-
We want to see
Moving
them.
him out of the way. I'm so
Another
sorry.
humanity point for not uploading a piece of evidence to the LAPD, which is this. I'm assuming you're not gonna upload that.
No,
Um,
absolutely not.
that's it. 3 humanity points for
Okay.
those reasons.
Whew.
Good job.
So, the rest of you, how's your downtime looking?
I'm taking shots again at the... We're still shift 3, right?
No, this is now downtime. Like your shift was to get the
downtime.
specialty.
Actual downtime.
Yeah.
Wait, me and Elijah didn't get to have a shooting competition?
Do you want to?
Do you want to?
Well, I was already beaten by Shockman, so by George. So I gotta.
You're trying to redeem yourself?
Both of you do
I gotta
fire.
beat somebody in this crew.
Both of you do firearms. Elijah, do not use the advantage yet because you don't. You're training for the specialty.
Okay.
Both of you roll firearms.
Here we go.
See where it lands.
I am trying to roll fire there.
What?
That one went.
Wait, did that go? Did that work?
Yeah. Yeah, you have one and nope.
No.
You hit your target. But Elijah hits it on the same hole that you made. Just to prove a point.
I'm like, no, he missed. I go over and show. I'm like, look, there's only one hole.
I saw you look behind the wall.
There's a bullet lodged behind the wall, right behind the target.
Oh no.
This is after I upgraded. I spent 10 humanity on this.
And before he got his specialty.
I'll try again someday.
So,
I just
what would the boys like to do while Evie's having a solo girls' night out?
Woo.
I was just gonna do the whole. I'm just going to the what do you call it? Kind of the joy houses over in Little Tokyo. Kind of doing my own thing. That's Elijah. Elijah's kind of like he's just like everything is just so empty in his life. That's why he has low empathy.
So just going to some joys, enjoying yourself. All right, that's
Yep.
fine.
George will kind of message we'll message Elijah, and you know what, fuck it, he'll message Echo too, and he'll say Evie is currently dealing with something or other, I don't know what, but she says she's safe. Boys night out, question mark?
You get a message back from me that is like an autoresponder. It says, Little Tokyo if you need me.
Let's go find him in Little Tokyo.
Okay, we'll head over to Little Tokyo.
All right.
I like to think that he's in Chow Yun Plap's Joy House.
Sure.
Eventually, we're gonna have to do get some work done, but
Yeah.
Till then, I have a lot of chinion in my pocket.
yeah, well, since everybody asks, I'll bring the cat. Here you go, because he keeps getting.
Okay.
Kitten. Hello, kitten.
So
He's a floof. They're a floof.
you guys enjoyed the night, relax for a bit.
Yes.
Next
May I
morning.
heal my
Yes.
my one health that I was down? Okay.
If you have any injuries or stress, regain 1 for the downtime.
Gotcha. I am fully up now.
That includes some echo as well. You can regain 1 more stress. Evie, you can regain if you have anything to regain.
No, I mean, I should have lost so much stress for that.
But girl, you rolled like a
Not yet.
boss. Holy
Not yet.
shit.
You
Oh
are
my god, the two crits, I can't.
The dice gods willed that
I
upon
know.
you.
And if we get into combat later in the session, I'm gonna roll shit.
you're next. You're next
I'm
after
gonna
Lance.
roll- I
Okay.
just learned this. No, I need to knock on wood. I need.
It's fine.
Okay.
So you guys are back on your next shift. It's the morning again. I imagine Evie is hungover. But
Yeah, hang on. Yes.
Evie's hungover, but you're a replicant. Physically speaking, you look fine. It's not like anyone can really tell. There are 2 more +2s, which gives us 5 from Miserable Junkie. I'm going to assume for feeling bad for screwing you over. In Neon Hordes.
As soon as George sees Evie, I'm imagining that Evie probably. I'm guessing that Evie might have. Does Evie come in later? Or does she come in like early, just so she doesn't have to see everyone? Just so she can get into work. Like how does that work?
It's a great question.
Apparently there's 3 +2s and then 1 specific to Echo for the cat and 1 specific to Evie, according to
Thank you, Miserable Junkie.
Miserable Junkie, because you're
proof.
depressed.
Because I'm depresso. Oh no. I think that Evie would probably come in early.
Okay. George will come in the next morning, looking not hungover, but looking a bit tired, like he had a long night out last night. We'll come in and see you at your desk, and I'm imagining kind of seeing you putting your head into your hands, kind of trying to staunch the pounding in your skull, and he'll say, "Long night last night?"
A bit. May have.
You need something to take that headache away.
I think I just maybe need another 2 to 10 more cups of coffee, and we should be
good. And he'll hand you a quad espresso Americano.
Thank you so much. Oh, I'll just take it. Just take 4 shots. It's
from an emo branded coffee stand outside called Depresso Espresso.
Yeah, so now Evie has two coffees. She's double fisting coffees, and she'll take out the bug thing, and as promised, it did come in handy. Thank you.
Of course. If you need one, I can try and get one for you, especially now with everything. He'll kind of wink at you.
Maybe that might be something that we should talk to Anders about.
Okay.
Seems like something he might have. I've actually never met him. I've only heard stories.
Yeah.
But he seems great.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy. And he'll George will kind of look and take off his sunglasses for a moment, and he'll be like, "Would you mind lowering your shades for me?" He's specifically trying to look at your eyes. He looks at your eyes, seeing them all bloodshot and everything, and he'll be like, "I'll be right back." And he'll walk over to his desk and just rummage around in his thing. And you know the sounds of him going into his alchemy drawer, as some people like to call it. And
What's he getting?
He's gonna make you a prairie oyster, because he doesn't have the beer to make a red eye, but he is gonna make you a prairie oyster. And he's gonna say, it says, "Don't smell it, don't look at it, just plug your nose and down this, and then drink your coffee."
I mean, if your day wasn't already bad, you know.
And texturally, it's horrifying. Swallow. And at first, your stomach feels like it's doing somersaults, and then it settles, and the hangover in the next 10 minutes actually disappears. He says, now you want to drink the coffee.
Hey Jones, I couldn't hear you if you were talking, man.
Can't hear you, Echo.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Echo.
You sound like
There we
you
go.
were
Sorry
in the
about that.
other...
My cat pressed my microphone. My cat pressed my microphone mute button.
So,
But I was saying, Evie deserves an award for that acting because while he was actually describing it, it literally looked like she accidentally grabbed the wrong drinking glass on her desk and drank something from a week ago. I was like, oh man, she just.
Yeah.
I may or may not have had some experience with drinking gross things that don't want to enter my body.
I've had a prairie oyster. They are vile, but good God, do they work?
Never had
Nope.
one. I just hate straight alcohol and cannot take shots. So that is.
I'm gonna show up at work. When I show up at the station, I see everybody kind of hanging out, but I'm definitely getting a little antsy. We got this job coming up. I feel the guilt of kind of betraying or a chief is still kind of weird.
and
on me.
selling your soul.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's just kind of like if you're gonna sell your soul, get it over with. Right now, it's just kind of holding pattern is not feeling well.
Well, good news is that on your first shift, you will receive a message from the KIA that also gets deleted, but gives you a location to go to. So, no more waiting around.
Oh shit.
You are made to go to Chinatown, up top. Once you arrive there, the secretary you guys once spoke with.
Can
very
I
first
ask
time.
a question? Before we
Yeah.
get onto that, can I ask a question really quick?
Sure.
So, if we have the option, George, just so we can minimize our footprint, George will recommend that Echo and Elijah drive in one spinner, and George will take Evie. And as long as you guys are okay with that, when we're in mid-flight, George will take out his thing and put on his swans, which I will post eventually. I will eventually come up with the thing of that, but I'm calling it a swans. And he will just kind of, while looking directly ahead at the air lanes, will say to Evie, "You know you can trust me, right?"
I know.
Okay.
Probably the only person that I do trust right now.
Okay.
If I had anything that I needed to tell you, I would.
If that changes, and you need to tell me later, I'm always here.
Is that why you guys are in like your spinner on the way there,
Yes.
or like this
Yes,
is the
yes.
okay?
Yeah, it's while we're
Separate.
on the spinner on the way there. Yeah.
Cool.
And then
I just-
George. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just making sure that I didn't want to interject with something there if it wasn't for Elijah to hear.
Yep.
It's
You're
just
not-
gonna be
the
me
two
and
of you
Echo
aren't
again.
there.
Yeah, and George will just smile, and we'll just continue driving, and we'll turn off the thing and then put it in his pocket, and we can continue on from there. Continue, DM.
Right. When you land in Chinatown, you will see the same secretary that you spoke with the first time you ever went to Wallace. And she wordlessly gets up from the noodle shop that she's sitting down on. And when you see her get up, she does not acknowledge that you're there, but you'd see on her seat that she has left a briefcase, which you can sit down and take, get for yourself, order something so it doesn't look too inconspicuous. And I guess you guys can go onto a single spinner and check the information together, just so you're away from the public. As far as the spinner goes, you
Yeah,
can
go-
always disable all of the electronics so that it doesn't, record. So if there are any recorders, they're not doing anything. All right.
Yeah,
You-
I would like to go take a seat, grab some noodles, grab another thing of noodles for Echo, for Echo, and kind of wait for whoever else is going to join me here at the bar, and accidentally tip over the suitcase when I get up, and then hopefully somebody notices it and picks it up.
Okay. When you guys get to the spinner and you read the information, you find out more about L, which I realize I've never corrected anyone, is spelled E-double-L-E. Not the letter.
We're so used to replicants in single letters.
Just why she's unique. She doesn't have a serial number. She wasn't given a distinction. She doesn't even have a serial number under her eye. The only thing you have to go for about her being a replicant is that there's a record of her being a replicant. Otherwise, she's basically human. The thing is, the dolls from the doll hunt, you can see that Neanderthal Senior created them for the names I mentioned before as a way to relieve stress during the Prohibition. They were meant to be hunted down, like animals. These dolls were, unlike the replicas that were made before and after, are made to be completely subservient, meaning they could be 100% trusted because they don't have any free will. They're basically programmed robots in flesh bodies. Elle, however, was made in a similar manner to the Nexus 8s, meaning free, to make her own choices and do things, but she was implanted with a series of memories, all replicated, that all revolved around one thing: to kill Neander Wallace Sr. She was made to assassinate him. Her entire purpose for creation was to kill him. It doesn't say who made her. It just says that her entire purpose was to kill Neanderthal Sr. And then she hunted down everyone who participated in the doll hunt. Elle is made to be genetically perfect, physically and mentally top of her game. She is a unique replicant in the sense that mentally sound, physically capable, made aware of what she is, and it kind of bit them in the ass, but they basically made the ultimate assassin. You have her physical stats, and if you guys on your sheets, you notice when you play the system, your skills are graded from A to D. That is based on how Blade Runner grades people's skill levels. Meaning, in the lore, you are also graded from those skill levels, depending on how good you are. So L is basically A in all physical attributes. Basically A's in everything that's physical. And the minimum score that she has in something is a C in empathy. Basically everything under empathy is a C. Everything else is at an A or B on average, which means that she is at the top of her game. Now, the rest of the information relates to her creation, what she's done over the few years. She's never been caught. She's likely not leading the replicant freedom movement, but she's using them. Using them because they share the same goals. But Elle is someone who wants to take revenge on Blade Runners and the Wallace Corporation. As for the details, Wallace does not want you... This is the non-disclosure. No one is ever to know that Elle was created. As far as the public's going to be concerned, it is another replicant that went rogue and killed your friend. Then you're going to put them to justice. When you kill Elle, none of these details come out. It's just another Nexus 8 that happens to be very, very good. That's the details that are going to come out in public. As to where she is, you have a few suspected areas all over LA which she's known to go to. Plus, suggestion is to find where she's getting illegal weapons. Her favorite weapons are a sniper rifle, several grenades, and a katana. Swords. So the suggestion basically is to find where those weapons are typically smuggled, where she might find them. She's unlikely to buy them. which means that someone might have been killed or stolen from to get them. But essentially, you are given potential hideouts that she has used in the past and potentially still uses. You are given, or potentially may have used recently. You're given locations where she could potentially be hiding, and you are given the weapons that you're going to want to track down to continue your investigation. This is everything Wallace has, but according to this, they're going to give you more if more comes up.
It's quite a bit of information. Where do we want to start, guys? Weapons or places she's been?
I think chasing down our old weapons dealer friend and meeting with him and asking him who his competition is, and then just visiting everyone who's anyone in business.
I agree, and I think we should go as a team. I think that we have strength in numbers, and I think that splitting off into pairs, as effective as that's been for us up until this point, I think it's too dangerous to go in pairs. I think having the four of us in one thing is going to be best.
Oh, I agree. If L is at any of the places that we're at and we're not all four of us there, then we're screwed. We're probably already screwed regardless. Yeah. But
as a little aside out of character, for the cast members, I posted a thing in the thing of what the thing that Evie and I have been using is. It is known as a Swanty, and it is a shortwave anti-networking transmission interceptor. That is something that I came up with in my headcanon, and it is the picture of it is the same thing as a joy emitter. Okay. So just because I've had some people asking, so there we go.
All right.
Anyway, continue.
So this isn't your first shift. You gathered information. Your first shift is now going to be to go to her locations or her weapons.
Oh, I thought we were doing weapons. We were gonna go to Anders and see if.
Okay.
Yeah, I think weapons.
Just making sure.
I think weapons is best.
So all four of you. This is new. Back to Animoid Row. You walk in, and when the place rings, like that little bell across the door, if it dings when you enter, just welcome. Fuck. I imagine you are here to ask for something that's going to be very bad for business. So, how can I help you? He just looks like giving up.
Anders, I have something for you first. And then I hand him his allotted baggie that he wanted for the day.
There is so many drugs being handed over that this would be dealing if you were caught instead of possession. You'd be charged with dealing them or pushing.
Nobody has to know. This is whatever goes on here is legally illegal.
I appreciate it, my friend. You bring all friends here. This is first. I imagine this is bad situation you're going to put me in, so let's rip Band-Aid and get over it. What can Anders do?
George will look to Anders and say, well, Anders, my dear friend. Oh, I apologize. Sorry, let me get into character. I apologize, Anders. You haven't met a fourth member of our team. You've met Echo and you've met Elijah. This is Evie.
Hi.
She was just mentioning to us the other day that she'd never met you, and I think we all thought it was about time that you guys were acquainted. Now,
I've heard a lot about you.
He looks to you, and I have not heard enough about you. He's looking at you.
That's because I'm mostly a hand-to-hand. Oh, as I punch my microphone, I'm more of a hand-to-hand person, so I wouldn't necessarily.
Maybe I
use
interest you in
guns.
prosthetic arm. Metallic arm punch harder than flesh. He gestures to like a bunch of prosthetics.
Although, Evie, that armor that saved both of our lives in that fight we were in about a week and a half ago did come from his shop, so that should speak to his quality of his items.
I'll think about the prosthetic arm. That sounds intriguing because though it is effective, it is kind of difficult to bring down the guys that I need to. It takes some time, so maybe I'll be back.
He nods and then looks at everyone again. Like, so
George will pull out a fat stack of 3 chinion worth of cash, and he will hold it in front of. It's in a clip, and he will hold it in front of Anders, and kind of draw his attention and say, "Now, Anders, if you play ball with us, this is going to be yours." And then
that kind of money being offered is almost always deadly. But that is money I am not proud enough to not accept.
We need to know, and I will basically be like, we need to know, we need to know where a person might come across this list of things, and I'll point to the list of her weaponry. We imagine that it's probably not coming from you, so you're safe in that regard. But we need to know exactly, or as exactly as you can, where these things can be acquired or who might be missing things like this, whether recent or otherwise.
These are specific models. Waz gave you like a detailed kind of weaponry that she's known to use.
Yeah.
Particularly Japanese sword here. I have swords. Japanese sword, not so common here, might think.
Yeah.
Especially ones made traditionally. Most of them machine cut. He thinks for a minute, and then he grabs a piece of paper and starts writing something down.
Mm-hmm.
You say these are not bought?
As far as we can tell, they were not bought, but they were acquired. How they were acquired, we don't know, but somehow they were by our target.
Yeah. Well.
And there may have been over time multiple of these different types of these different specific things acquired at various different times. But as far as we know right now, these are the items that this particular target is using.
These kind of weapons. Guns I supply. This particular sword, not so much. But if they weren't bought from me. So if you're looking for weapons, you need to go south. Lower California. Remains of old cities. He hands you back the paper, and he gives you a detailed itemized list. He looks to you and says, I think you will have to go to the remains of San Diego.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Now, I'm sure I don't need to tell you, San Diego, blown up hellscape. Nothing left.
Yeah.
But that make for a great place for running illegal weapons you don't want anyone seeing. It is a place where weapons like these are bought and sold off record. No one find. Physical money, given that is the only place you can find unique weapons like these sold there. I heard rumor that there is a blacksmith there, still capable of making weapons in old school fashion. But that is only rumor, and there's never confirmed.
So you're alluding to the fact that in old San Diego, it's basically become a gun runner's paradise.
Not just that, friend. Guns, bombs, explosives, illegal items, broken parts, stolen
Yes.
parts.
Gun runner being a general term for weapon hauler and everything like that. Gotcha.
Not entirely. There is rumor going around, unconfirmed. I don't know if true, but there is rumor going around that San Diego is also home to makeshift replicant laboratory.
What are you telling? Sorry, Lance came out. My bad. What are you
He's
telling?
back from
God.
dead.
Oh my god, I lost my accent. I've been so focused on paying attention to Anders that I just completely lost my accent. Oh crap! I need a couple seconds. I'm sorry, guys. Basically, I was gonna ask, why is Anders giving this information so free and so willingly when we haven't really asked for this much information? There's got to be something for Anders.
You want to ask him that
Well, it's
directly?
not him, right? It's a competition.
Yes. Now, Anders, why are you telling this information to us? Because it seems you give it too much too freely. It's Italian now.
You haven't by any chance been told to tell us this information, have you?
I've been told by money. He just looks at the chinny and George is holding. But no. You must know. I have recently come across information 2 days ago. And I thought that information like that would be very useful for next time Blade Runner coming down my door threatening to shoot me if I don't give them information. But since you have so generously paid for information, I thought Anders is good businessman. I take money, I give product. In this case, product is you knowing what you are getting. But as far as information, I received this 2 days ago from contact I sent there to scout competition. They are cutting into my supply of weaponries from same supplier.
Would you be willing to let us know who told you this?
I can't give up process.
George
All
will
I can
pull
tell
out
you
another chain
is
in.
they work for me, they go there, they find more information competition, and then they hear rumor about replicant laboratories being made in San Diego. Now, the only rumor, he hears it from drunkards in shitty bar propped up there. His primary goal was to find out the supply chain, which he did. Rumor was just rumor. Unconfirmed, no proof. Just heard it from bar.
Well,
If I was
Anders,
going to
you've been
give you
very
information, why would I lie now?
Inside check.
Yes. Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh no.
See, there it is.
You can push, but I'll give you one stress
I'm gonna
guaranteed.
push it. That's fine because I have a +2 just for me.
Then you can ignore the ignore the stress.
Thanks,
Or
Result
add it back.
Junkie.
Okay. He is making a point, and this is the first time you've met him. But again, looking through body language, looking through how he's acting, how unnervous he is, he really wants that money. And he imagines, just based on how he's talking about his competition, he imagines that you going there would be bad for their business, which would be good for his. Just the presence of Blade Runners there might scare away the suppliers from dealing business there. So just you going to that place is good for him. Plus the money you're offering, he's getting a good deal out of this.
Yeah. One thing that I don't think I don't think I mentioned this before, but one thing that George will have brought in with him is a small, not duffel, but more of a suitcase, and he will bring that in, and he'll just kind of, people have asked the questions and gotten that information after Anders has been so helpful, and George will look to him and say, well, Anders, thank you very much. You've been very helpful. We all deeply appreciate it. I think we have a trip to do, but I have one personal thing, a personal commission that I would like to ask as a bonus, if you wouldn't mind, in exchange for this money. And I'll even throw in an extra bit of cash if it would help.
He looks at you curiously.
Okay. And George will say, "Oh, once this," and he'll kind of look to the rest of the team and say, "Guys, would you mind giving us a minute?"
Oh, sure.
He's
Take a step outside.
when you guys are starting to leave, he actually looks at you. And you, if you like prosthetic arm, leg, implant, and there's more of it willing to help. He smiles and winks at you in this sort of flirtatious manner.
Yo,
You leave.
I'll definitely let you know.
Then
And
he looks to
George, after they've all left, George will put the suitcase on the table and will bring out the we'll open it up, and inside is the thing that you and I spoke about on private chat, Nigel. And he will, inside of the suitcase is a piece of paper with the rough measurements that George has been able to gather. And he will say, "Can you please tailor this to these measurements so that it fits properly, or have it tailored?"
I can tailor, yes.
Wait,
Simple
are
enough.
you getting me a suit?
Something
Just
like
takes
that.
it. Simple enough. Come back tomorrow.
So it's not for me.
Come back tomorrow.
Okay. It might be a few days, so if you can hold it for me, I'll be by as soon as I can.
Of course.
And I'll
Just
hand it
takes
to
it.
Fortinian.
Take Fortinian. He just starts yelling out at his employees to get an old sewing machine. Okay. So, your first shift is over. You found some information, and if that's what you're going to do, you're going to make a day trip to San Diego. But for now,
Yeah.
we're a bit over, so we are going to take a break for a bit. Everyone who's here, don't go anywhere. We'll come back because San Diego might prove to be very fun. For me, not so much for the players.
What's in San Diego?
Party City, spring break.
We'll be back
Woo!
in about 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
That's
So, welcome back again. Unless something else is gonna happen, we're going to see our Blade Runners visiting a destroyed, bombed-out city of San Diego. Unless there's any preparations you'd like to make beforehand.
So I'm curious as a player, is San Diego like irradiated, or was it bombed with conventional bombs?
Not irradiated, but it's completely destroyed. It's war-torn.
Okay.
Also, flooding and everything. It doesn't have a seawall, so tsunamis hit it. It receded. All that's left is ruin. It's similar to Las Vegas in 2049. That's basically how the rest of the world looks.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you guys want to head there? Are there any personal matters that need to be attended to? Yes?
Evie's gonna grab a change of clothes and is gonna bring like kind of, I guess, like a disguise, because Anders says that there was like a bar there. So I want to get like really, really rundown clothes, like very much like Fallout
Street
type
rat
of
style.
Make it look like, if I need to, that I am like someone who's been living out in that wasteland.
Or in general, just looks like you belong there.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. All right.
As George, as before George drops Evie off, assuming that she's doing that, because we did come here on two separate spinners. George will pull out of his pocket as he's driving and hand you a piece of paper, a folded up piece of paper, Evie, and say, "Take a look. Tell me if you like it."
Okay. Open it.
You open it up, and it is a very well drawn and colored, artistic, tattoo-esque looking rendition of a snow leopard.
It is. I've never seen one of these before. What is
Not
this?
in person.
Not in person. He'll kind of look. He'll kind of smirk, and he'll say, "It's a snow leopard. Do you like it?"
It's cool looking. Why are you giving me a photo of this?
I'm not giving it to you. I'm asking if you like it. Snow leopards in history were known for being, in mythology at least, were known to be wise and sly and cunning, but deadly when crossed. And I've been thinking for a while something that my sister said shortly after we had our dinner all those weeks ago. And she drew this, by the way. She was thinking of you when she drew it.
Oh. And
I've been thinking about it over and over again, and it just, more and more I think about it, I'm like, no, like if we had call signs, I think this would fit you great, but ultimately that's your decision. But you are wise, you are cunning, you're sly, but in the best of ways. And oh my God, Evie, I have never seen someone kick the shit out of people in hand-to-hand fighting when you're crossed as you have. So I ask you, if the opportunity came up, would you want this as, he kind of thinks for a moment, a totem, as it were?
I don't know much about snow leopards, but it looks really cool. I'm very flattered that both of you consider me to represent a creature like this. So yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't want to jump the gun too early, but if we make it back from this trip, in about a week, make sure that Sunday the 2nd is free on your schedule, and I'm gonna make sure it's free on mine.
Okay. I mean, yeah, we'll see if we're alive by then.
Exactly. He just kind of takes the thing back, folds it up, and puts it back in his pocket. And that's it. And he'll continue driving and drop off your thing. Yeah.
I'll
You
grab
guys want to bring 4
my
spinners,
disguise.
or you never
I
know
guess
which
it's a
one's
good
going to
question.
blow up?
Do we want to bring 4 or do we want to bring 2?
Or do you want to not take LAPD issue vehicles out of the city?
Yeah, we probably shouldn't take the
That's
RDU
true.
cars.
That's true. That's true.
Well, how far long of a drive is it from LA to San Diego?
Oh, that's like a 4-hour drive
That's a-
normally.
Road trip.
For a drive,
Road
but
trip.
you are flying.
That's
So
true.
Yeah, if we fly, yeah.
I would say
I
about
mean,
2-ish.
If we go the flubber route,
we could take
There's a straight
George will
line
kinda
while
look and
flying.
say-
It's about
George will
2-ish.
kind of look and say, we could take the mini spinner that my aka the spinner version of a minivan that my sister uses for transport when she's transporting in her wheelchair. It's got enough room for all of us and some extra equipment if we needed to.
Yep.
And it's
Maybe-
not RDU oriented.
Could we maybe make it look dingy?
Theoretically, as long as we cleaned it up afterwards, because she would have my hide if we brought it back looking like shit.
You also risk blowing it up.
That's true.
So,
I'd say,
transport vehicle?
I said we take an. I said we take a spinner. The only reason why is just because they should. I mean, have they developed self-defense mechanisms yet in this world or this timeline yet?
No, but the spinner. But you do have LAP spares that come with weaponry, like the ones you've used before.
Yeah.
road trip.
Yeah, I think
I'm gonna bring my little drink cooler that plugs into the lighter port and like
So-
CDs and such, music, just because so we're gonna be outside the limits, city
Road
limits, no internet,
trip.
no 5G, 4G in the dark dystopian future.
2
Yeah.
LAPD spinners.
Yeah.
Hell
You
yeah.
can always
Hey,
file it as
George-
chasing up on the chief's orders, looking for L.
George will also bring a small cooler filled with synth steaks and synth vegetables, so that we can potentially, if we can find a grill or somewhere to grill stuff on, we can have a little cookout.
So we're bringing the 2 LAPD spinners with the 50 calibers. So Junkie suggesting you ask Wallace for a vehicle. Maybe they'll give you one. But I mean, that's a thing you can do if you want to ask him for something. But if you're taking the spinners, you can always file it off under you're following up on the chief's orders. He did say do whatever you need to do. Going to San Diego falls under that. So you take 2 spinners, or do you take 4? Because each of you do have one.
How many
I was
parades
gonna say
would
we all
just
cram
do?
into one.
Just one
But I mean,
carrier.
if we get shot down,
Yeah.
That's true.
If one of us blows up, it might be.
yeah, I mean, we're going down to San Diego. It's not probably if it's dingy like Las Vegas is, and
Horribly
Oh.
so. So
yeah,
one
let's
each?
do 4 and just end caravan.
Yeah.
I get to drive. That's the only thing I care about.
Break,
Or
break,
LAPD spinners.
Breaker 5-9er.
4 LAPD spinners going out of LAPD, heading south to San Diego. I believe I have my geography right, because San Francisco's the north one. I think.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
San Diego South.
I'm
by
not
the
from California. So you go down.
I got the geography.
You do see from the sky the damage that the water line has done. Because Los Angeles is surrounded by the seawall. Because the sea levels have risen to an unnatural degree and continue to rise. So you see the damage that has been done. The California coast has lost about 2, maybe 3 miles worth. of land.
Oh, so what you're saying is that now SeaWorld has had an exponential expansion.
Sort of, let's say. The world is more than
SeaWorld is in
75%
San
water now.
Diego. SeaWorld is now is in San Diego, by the way.
But as you fly, some parts of San Diego are still there. The higher area, the parts that are located higher than most of the other city and away from the coastline are still there. It is a flooded mess by the time you arrive. But when you're walking around, it's not as dry as Las Vegas was. It is about ankle high in water on the parts that are considered livable. So you can put on boots what you like, or if you don't really care about that, you can just move. But it is basically seawater reaching that level. It's like walking along the shores of the beach, and the water is just constantly coming towards your feet. There are people who are basically living on water beds just floating along the area. There are also, or not water beds, but like floating inflatable beds. There are also some people who have made hammocks on remnants of old pillars to sleep on. Once you arrive and start walking, it is very, very clear to you that you are, one, probably happy that the LAPD's spinners have such excellent anti-theft systems. But two, you're outsiders and people are taking notice. There are lots of people just whispering amongst each other from faraway places, noticing that you're walking around here, that you're new. If you are taking any safety precaution from any kind of diseases that might come from flood water reaching your ankles, you are immediately pegged as an outsider. Because people here are walking barefoot in the flood, without any regard for their health or safety. But
I would imagine that I myself would have taken a step outside from the spinner, like just done the classic, just land the spinner down and just open up the door and step out with no regard to like safety, just kind of just going about my business, just kind of like doing the trench coat thing, you know, putting it up a little bit.
Elijah's in Crocs just walking through the flood.
Yeah.
Anders gave you the location of the bar and where his contact saw the guns being imported to. So probably where they're setting up shop. But is there anything you want to do beforehand? You were saying?
If it's possible, can I have EV Spinner park like
Away?
I definitely want to park away from the rest of the group and find a place that might be hidden so I can change into my
you can park
my disguise
outside of what remains of city limits, which would be drier than most, because of and most of it are like urban decayed suburb areas outside of San Diego that have been reclaimed by nature. So you can definitely park there, change, and then walk the rest of the way.
Okay. And as soon as I notice that the locals are barefoot, I will take off the shoes that I have.
Right. You move forward. It is disgusting that you are a replicant, or are you?
Don't do that to me, Nigel.
So,
what makes you human after all?
Are you a replicant if you were born? So, you move forward. Remember, this is the first day of free if you want that information. But you move forward. Eventually gather with the team, or do you want to just meet in the bar and you want to find your own way there?
Yeah, I'm gonna find my own way there.
Good. Are you all going to the bar first, or is there a split up, go somewhere else kind of deal?
George will probably head directly to the bar.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good for a bar. I mean, it seems like not the kind of beach I want to be hanging out at.
All right. So this is your second shift. You are still together. Yeah.
I'm looking for an area, kind of. I'm gonna do some reconnaissance on the bar because I don't really trust it being like away from LAP or LA. Part of who I am wants to just take a look around.
Observation. For Echo, I'll have you roll your driving. and then add a dice equal to your tech, so D. Because there is something you'll see in the sky that might catch your attention. Critical
Hey,
for
GM,
Elijah.
Before I go into the bar, I'm gonna walk over. I'm gonna walk to outside of the bar, and I'm gonna sit down on like a bench or something that I can just a flat surface that I can sit down on. Just kind of keep my sunglasses on, just kind of look like I'm listening to some music or something like that, and just listen to everything I can with my new ocular implant, my new co-ocular implant.
Sure. Make an observation roll.
With
Let's start-
advantage, because I'm listening.
Yes. Let's start with Elijah while you're rolling.
Yeah.
Nothing is really monitored here, but you do notice that there are extra eyes on you. There are people who seem to act like this de facto police force around here. So, or maybe it's a warlord's place and he has guards. Either way, there are people who are clearly clocking you as new. They're not doing anything about it, but you're being watched. The way they're looking, the way they act, they don't look like replicants in the sense that, you know, they're a little diseased. They've got a bit of scarring on them. Maybe it's battle torn or something, but something inside you kind of feels like that they might just be regular humans that are watching over this place or controlling this place. And they're stationed in various areas. There are people on the roofs. There's some on the streets walking around with guns. Since you played Cyberpunk, it feels like walking into Dogtown.
Okay, that's kind of what I was getting. But do any of them feel like or look like they're armored or armed?
Not armored, but they are heavily armed. Assault rifles.
Heavily armed. Okay, cool. And they obviously have like clicks. Are there any obvious groups that stand out, or is it just all ambiguous and
They're not wearing anything that identifies them as a single group, but the fact that they are the only ones armed with such like automatic rifles and they're roaming around tells you that they're all part of the same, let's call it military police of this place.
Okay.
But they're not uniformed. They're in casual clothes. They just have weapons. It's like a gang running an entire district.
So as a casual call, I like pick up or I grab my phone and just kind of call everybody up and in a group chat. Listen, the heavy mini eyes here is not good. Keep your weapons down. Best not to get shot in place like this. Don't know what's in the water.
Echo, when I asked you to roll driving, the idea here is that you are seeing a transport vehicle arriving at one of the locations that you know is a place Anders pointed out is where the weapons are being stored or sold. So there seems to be a shipment, because when you look closely at the vehicle, it is a carrier for... It's not a personnel carrier. It's designed to carry large packages, kind of like the equivalent of a semi that's floating in the sky.
Right.
So something is being delivered right now. So if there was I was gonna say, like, if there was a time where it would be worth checking the equipment, it's probably sometime today, because there's equipment being delivered at the moment. The thing is,
I'm gonna say
the truck.
looks like more and more Anderson was right. Yeah, more and more Anderson was right. I see some transport in the sky, looking around at all these people, the way they're living.
The thing is, the transport vehicle that's being used is the old vehicles of San Diego PD, repurposed. So they've basically reclaimed old stuff here. Which means you have some smart people handling some smart technology and repurposing it to their benefit, to their needs.
I don't know if the people hear the message. I'm gonna say, yeah, I got eyes on the transport. Anderson's information just keeps coming through. Looking around at the way these people are living, I'd be hesitant to let them know we're going to be shutting down this operation. It might be bringing in money.
Yeah.
Maybe
GM,
just tell them we're just looking into the terrorist, see how they feel about Nexus models or something. Blame it on them and tell them they can keep doing it as long as they just keep it out of. We're Blade Runners. That's all we care about.
Yeah.
Keep it out of replicant hands.
Okay.
So what did I get with my 4
yeah.
successes, Jim?
When you start listening to people, it's very clear that outsiders have been clocked. People are talking in what they assume is out of hearing range from you, but they're talking about how you don't belong here. There's people that are coming in here. Something's going on. People are on high alert, but they're not hostile yet.
Okay.
It becomes clear to you that outsiders coming here is a problem for them, in the sense that it might disrupt their way of life. But the important thing that you do catch is this very subtle conversation, and it's so far away that you don't actually see where it happened, you just hear it happen. Where one of them is looking, maybe it's not so bad that outsiders are here. I mean, it might end up like the girl that went here. Paid us a lot of money for all that stuff. The small one with the sword, the one with the sword. Yeah, that one. Paid a lot of money down the runner's place. Got us food supplies for a week. And they move eventually far enough that you don't hear them anymore. But you can basically confirm that Elle's been here.
Okay. I will on my ocular implant, or not my ocular, but my temple implant, I will mentally transmit to everyone's KIA on their person. Confirm that Elle's been here. We need to ask around about the runner and any information we can find about recent or relatively recent transactions involving a little person with a little lady with a sword who bought a sword. Also, be very, very careful. These people are a hair trigger away from blasting us into the next world.
Okay. So, whoever's entering the bar, Evie goes there. You are not associated with them at the moment. Inside the bar, it is basically a hole-in-the-wall bar that has no more doors or anything, so it's just a tent tarp that's been placed over that you kind of push out of the way like curtains. Inside, there are old tables and chairs that are still up, but you know they're creaky, they're moving back and forth, nobody really cares. It's the only bar that seems to be working around this place from the walk that you've just taken. And there's a number of people already here despite it being like in the afternoon, but I mean, what else are you gonna do in this hellscape of a city? What do you do? Bartender? One of the empty seats? What are you doing?
You're muted.
Ooh, no.
Oh yeah, I didn't hear you.
Oh, okay. So I go to the bartender.
Okay.
And yeah, Evie's just gonna sit herself down, look at the bartender and say, yeah, I'll have a whiskey.
Large, well-built, about 6'3", pure muscle of a man. Dark skin, just looks at you. Yeah, sure you will. And he pours one, hands it to you. There's a point where aging whiskey is an art, and just leaving it on a shelf is not how you do it. But it looks like that's how they did it. Just hands it to you.
Yeah.
You pan a little bit of money. He just takes it, pockets it. Doesn't seem to be any register or anything here. No bills, no receipts or anything. What are you gonna do?
After a moment, I'm kind of just gonna like sit there and just sort of gauge the room. I'm also going to be listening in if possible, but I know that my observation is not
You can try.
the best.
You're in the bar.
But yeah,
There is an old jukebox that they still have playing.
it still
Great.
works.
Great for tiny ambience. Not so good for when you're trying to listen in, but that is a crit and a success. Okay.
Evie,
There are people talking about you.
You are a golden goddess.
There are people talking about you when you enter the bar. You look like the people here, about as disheveled. But they recognize, or they sort of have this understanding that you might not be from here. It gives you the idea that they know each other. But at least you don't, look like people from the outside. There is again a conversation of one of them who is near the bar, just kind of whispering to his buddy that you catch in passing, like, I have a visitor outside. Ha! How many women look like that you think come to a place like this? Only one. A few months ago. That one was a looker. Yeah, not that you'd ever say that to her face. He'd cut your head off. Literally. You think this one's gonna cut my head off too? I think women don't tend to look like that and end up here. Unless they were going to cut your head off. Or they've had some real shit luck.
Listen, boys, if you're curious about me, all you have to do is ask.
They look to you. Roll your manipulation, please. Jesus Christ. That's 2 crits.
Oh
okay.
no, that was my insight.
That's insight,
I'm so
yeah.
sorry.
Start manipulation.
Dang it.
Well, no, it's
It's
fine
the
because
same
it's the same.
thing.
I'll take it.
It's the same.
It's the
Thank
same
you for letting me
dice.
keep it. I appreciate it.
They look to you. Well, look at that, Johnny. Our luck's already turning up. Last one friend to cut our heads off. This one's at least talking to us. She's talking to me, dimwit. No one's ever gonna talk to you. He just looks
I'm
at you.
talking to the both of you.
Ah, I win. So what brings you here? Don't get many proper. He looks at how you dress. Well, proper looking ladies at least around here.
Well, I traveled here from Vegas. I was staying there for a moment.
You look good for someone who lived in Vegas. Damn.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. But I heard, as I was passing through, I heard that this place was
Hey,
great
hold
for
on.
finding particular items.
Hold on. You said Vegas?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. What is in the water of Vegas that all these beautiful ladies keep coming from there?
Well, if I told you our secret, then I'd have to kill you.
No. It's fine. My friend here is just surprised you are the second woman that comes from Vegas who looks like they're a proper woman. Of course, the other one was here a few months ago. And then she threatened to kill us, so maybe not so proper. You seem much nicer. But, you're looking for stuff. Yeah, we got it. 2 warehouses. One on the East Road and the other a little south of here. You'll see them. They've got a giant neon sign of a assault rifle plastered in front. You can buy a lot of things from there.
The thing is, I am looking for something in particular. It's maybe a little niche. But I heard that one was sold, maybe by the very lady who threatened to cut your head off. A Japanese sword. You know where I might find something like that?
One more manipulation, please.
Okay.
At
Wow,
this
they
point,
just
Not
keep
as
coming.
good. Dang. Only 2 successes.
Only. Save that in combat. Eve looks. Shit, you really are like the other crazy one. You're gonna wanna speak to that Smith. He ain't around those 2 places we mentioned. He's got his own thing. Of course he doesn't sell. Don't know how the girl got him to give shit. Supposedly he got trained in Japan, but don't really believe that crap. You'll find him nearby. It's hard to miss. You're gonna see an orange glow from the window because he uses fire. And you're gonna hear the clanking of metal. Just keep going down that road.
Thank you. I appreciate the conversation. And then I'll buy them both a round and head out.
Well, little lady, if you're ever looking for a different kind of sword, just let me know. Shut up. Yours is more like a butter knife. There's a brawl between the 2 of them as you
Evie
leave.
will saunter over to both of them, not trying to do any damage, but she'll just like put her arm around the 2 of them, like she's flirting with them a little bit, grab the backs of their necks, and then shove them down onto the bar. Just to show that I could literally crush their heads with my hands if I wanted to.
Okay, Uncle.
That
Uncle.
wasn't very nice now, was it?
Uncle. I'm
And
sorry.
after
We're
that
sorry.
lovely conversation we just had.
We're sorry. We're sorry.
Yeah.
Thought you might be into it.
Well, maybe next time. Think before you say something like that to a woman, huh?
They just start tapping on the bar like, ah!
All right.
I'll let them
You
go.
let go. They stumble out of here. Running, but they're drunk and stumbling. So, once again, you guys have collected this information, yes?
Since I haven't really made my way into the bar personally, is it obvious that there is a... Yeah, I was still outside. Is it obvious that there is a place that does have a fire and or an orange glow to the window?
For that observation, yeah. If not, even if you haven't seen it, you would have seen a faint glow from a place, and you would have come across at some point in the back streets the sound of metal, just ping, the pinging of metal being hammered on.
I'm gonna approach it and be nearby, but wait to see if it's confirmation that I like to get confirmation from the crew. I just kind of want to be there, kind of like skulking in the shadows.
Okay. I suppose Evie can deliver this information through communication.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I definitely will. I think Echo might be frozen.
Am I?
Yeah.
Or is it just my
Yeah.
image?
Oh, okay.
That's
Okay.
right.
I just wanted to make sure that your mic
No,
was still.
I am
It's a
here.
still image.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
It's a good still image
simply
too.
Are you guys still sticking together?
George is George. Can you?
Oh,
Shoot,
Okay,
sorry
there you go.
sorry about that. I forgot that I had my mic up. George will have just been sitting outside across the street from the bar. He will have watched Evie go in and will have been listening this whole time, and probably will have clocked at least that something had gone on, and he will whistle over like with you, signaling to you like. And then just kind of bring over his thing, not looking directly at you, but just kind of looking down and kind of looking like he's listening to music. He will then, if you approach him, he will pull out a pack of cigarettes, pull one out himself, offer you one, and just kind of be like, hope you didn't have too much fun in there.
I think that I would probably pass you just because I don't want the other like
The
locals that
association.
are around to clock that we're in the same group.
Okay.
I'm trying to remain undercover as much as I can.
Okay.
But I will kind of like go around maybe to like the back, maybe where there's someone where no one is looking, and
Okay.
Sure.
George will follow. George will nonchalantly kind of make, after she's passed by for a few moments, he will make his way around and join her in the back.
Oh, I was gonna reiterate that information to the phone. So you
Oh,
don't
okay.
even need to go.
I misunderstood.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
My bad.
Okay. So,
It's
but are you
it
guys
looks
still
it's the
sticking
Blade
together?
Runner- it's the Blade Runner webpage that keeps crushing me. I wonder why.
Are you guys still sticking together?
George is just now that player knows what the deal is. George will just kind of be sitting there, just kind of doing his thing, listening in, and just kind of mentally with his implant, just kind of monitoring the KIA, and just staying on comms, and we'll just wait, and then whatever the party decides, he'll be down with.
The reason I ask is because the travel plus the bar is your second shift, so you're entering your third shift here.
Okay.
So if you guys are going to stick together, you are using a lot of time.
I'm going to. Can I use the spinner since we all took separate spinners? Can I use my time to go investigate the factory, drive around, see if I see anything interesting?
Yes, but your spin is going to stand out.
It's true.
Unless you'd like to steal a car. Steal a car in the
You
street.
can always ask the.
You doubt this place has street cameras.
Live your best
Echo?
Mega Drive life.
Well, I'm thinking reconnaissance. I see this all going on. We know we kind of have some leads here.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if you don't want to use your spinner because you might get clocked while doing reconnaissance, you could steal a car and use that. So at least it fits with this place.
I'm wondering if it's okay for us to be seen in a spinner. I feel like kicking down the doors here and saying, "Hey, there's a replicant problem here," and it's literally...
You don't have jurisdiction here. The Blade Runner's jurisdiction ends in Los Angeles.
Oh,
So as far as anyone's concerned here, the Blade Runner badge means nothing.
are there like replicants walking around freely and everything?
If there were, you wouldn't know. I'm just saying that your spinner doesn't stands out from here. It doesn't look like the kind of car that belongs here. That's why I was offering, if you want to scout out on a vehicle, you can steal a vehicle and then use that to scout around.
Yeah, Elijah, you wanna come with me to go scout out the factory?
You get a message back saying, "Yes, I'll head your way," because I was over at the where the blacksmith area was, so I'll make my way towards you, kind of keeping in the shadows, and let's go find a vehicle to steal.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably something that we can just return, in the sense of like they probably the only thing they'll notice is the big gulp in the cup holder. I don't know.
Make a tech roll. One of you.
Yeah.
To at least hotwire and then drive later. Tech roll first to
Actually, Elijah, that might
open
be
the
you.
car. Sweet. Echo, to drive inconspicuously, you are going to roll your driving, but you're going to add a C dice because this is not the most maneuverable car in the world.
Oh no, it's a clunker. It's a
piece of shit.
but it flies, which is important.
Is that a C dice to it?
A D?
C.
A C.
C. Sorry.
C isn't Charlie.
Wow.
There we go.
Okay.
Hey,
You are
there we
driving
go.
as the people here drive. The problem is, that no one has any flying spinners here, so you are driving a ground car. But you can still make it to the factory.
Ooh.
Drive inconspicuously. Feels nice to be on the road again, rather than the sky. Feels
On the road again.
kind of a different
And
feeling.
no traffic. Yeah, low
Nope.
traffic.
when you look at when the two of you are scouting out, both of you can roll observation, just to see if you pick up different things. Two.
There we go.
Pushed. Okay. 2 and 1.
I push it because if I'm driving, I'm looking around.
The transport vehicle leaves the area, but it's not as heavy. It doesn't have as hard of a time on the uplift, which Echo is an expert enough at vehicles that you understand it's been emptied. So this warehouse is where they set up shop. And looking around, you can't find any open entrances. There are guards outside, but that small window, when they open and close the shutters, Elijah notices that the place is set up like metal wired fences as walls that have guns hung on them. It is set up like a illegal firearms business. It's just there, but you do see some guns of varying calibers, some explosives, some things that are definitely not available on the streets, grenade launchers and the like, heavy-duty battle armor like the kinds that you have for the LAPD SWAT team, and things that really shouldn't be sold on the streets, but here they are. There are a few swords, but you didn't find any katanas, although again, you only saw a small gap in the entrance, so you're not sure if they're selling any. But while observing here, you do find another vehicle that when Echo sort of parks in the shadows away from this place, just so you don't get caught, you find another vehicle showing up, and you find 4 people leaving it. The vehicle, this extends to Echo's role earlier, is the same vehicle that Elle was in when she shot at you guys outside of Lilith Lab. The same vehicle type, a different license plate, but that's easy to replace. But it's the same vehicle spinner type. Now, a spinner, like I said, is out of place in this city. But when that spinner lands, there's a familiarity from the guards there, but they just let them in. Even though the spinner is out of place with the vehicles that roam this place.
What do you think, Echo? Do we check it out? Do we give them a little friendly knock at their door, or do we wait for our crew? What do you think?
I'm gonna message back to everybody. Elijah, if we're gonna be going in there, I think I don't think it should just be the 2 of us. I'll message back to everybody else and just say, are you guys wrapping up everything there? We're over here at the factory. Looks like I don't know if it's L's spinner, but it's the same. It's a spinner like L's. Something's going on here.
Before you guys respond, let's see what you're doing. Evie, you are heading over to this blacksmith.
Yes.
Okay. Stone is still staying outside.
George will shadow Evie. He will not be in direct contact, and will avoid any. Will basically stay far enough away from her to look like he's not with her, but basically that just so he can give her, just so he can be within view and be able to back her up if she needs it.
If you stay outside, you'll be able to hear most of the conversation with your implant.
Gotcha. Cool.
Evie walks in, and it is hot in here. California weather has been screwed up in this timeline because it's snowing in California. But around here, there's a very strong heat, and you can see a large metal furnace. And if you ever seen like a modern forging place of people who make replica swords, he's got like that electronic hammer where you pull a lever and just smashes down repeatedly. That's the sound you've been hearing. And it's just... He doesn't hear you come in when the door opens because of that sound. You want to knock on the table? Catch his attention? Or do you want to observe what's going on?
I think I'm just gonna like lean up against the wall and just sort of wait for him to notice me.
He's running it. It stops. He's checking if the blade is straight after he dips in oil. And then he looks to you. Sorry, didn't see you there. And he hangs the sword up. Can I help you?
Yeah,
I'm not really a salesman here, so I don't really sell anything.
That's fine. I was just wondering, I heard that you could make a blade. And I was just hoping to acquire one of them. Recently come into quite a bit of money and would like to spend it.
Well, much as I'd like to, like I said, I don't sell anything here.
Mm-hmm. That's
I'll
not
make
what I
'em.
hear.
What did you hear?
I heard you parted with one of those blades with someone from Vegas about a couple months ago, was it?
Manipulation, please. There are 3 plus 2s. There are still 3 plus 2s. You can push one more time.
I'm gonna use it.
Okay. You should be back to full.
To full? Okay.
Yeah. Because you didn't get any stress yet, right?
No, not yet.
Yeah. So you're full.
Okay.
Okay. He... Look. He takes out something from underneath the table. At first, your instinct says he might shoot you. But you have enough fine control over your physical body that you can stop yourself from reacting when you realize he's pulling out a scanner. And he looks to you. I know what this is gonna sound like, but you look up and to the left for me.
Fine.
He scans, sees your serial number. You'd have found one of us around here. Yeah. I sold the blade a couple months ago. Except she was different. He didn't
Maybe
have
I'm
that,
different.
he just gestures a number. She was definitely one of us. You have no idea how he could possibly know that if she didn't have a serial number. But he just looks back and says, "Well, I'll sell to you. What kind of blade you looking for?"
Japanese.
Short, long sword, longer blade, maybe one on a pole.
Let's go long.
I got one already made. It just shows you a standard, a slightly longer katana, just slightly over 3 feet. Forged traditionally, edge thinned out to be monomolecular. Cut through people pretty easy.
Like, take a couple, like...
He
practice
gives you like
swings.
tatami mats. Even untrained with the sword, it's very easy to cut once you get the groove of it because of how sharp it is. You're looking for exactly the same thing she did, except she ordered a full memory scan.
Full memory scan.
When she came back here 2 months ago to look for the sword, it wasn't the first time she's been here. About 8 years ago, she came by looking for a full memory scan. I happen to have my own little laboratory in the back. I did her scan. Gave her some information. She didn't like it. It is what it is. She left. Didn't see her again for 8 years. Then 2 months ago, she came back asking for a sword. I didn't want to sell to her because I don't sell. But if I did, I would consider it only to us. The reason I sold to her was because of the purpose she had for it. She was tired of getting gunned down. She was tired of Blade Runners coming for the lives of those who were just trying to live on. Tell me, what generation are you? 9 or 8?
I'm a 9.
I'm an 8. See, Blade Runners have decided that just because I'm an 8, I've got a particular serial number, that I don't deserve to live. After they created me to fight for their wars so they wouldn't have to. After their wars, they just decided I wasn't worth living.
Who are they to decide who lives or dies?
Hell, that woman was tired of it. She wanted to do
Sounds like
something
my
about
kind
it.
of woman.
They tell me. She wanted to do something about it. She wanted to make the Blade Runners pay. So she did. Or at least that's what I think has happened. I'm not really getting any much information from Los Angeles these days. Honestly, I don't want anyone to die. I just want to be able to be left alone. I ain't hurting no one. I ain't spreading no secrets. I don't know no secrets. I'm a war vet who knows guns have been fired, bombs have been made. I don't know much else. You tell me, why should I have to die just because my serial number doesn't match up to what is modern?
I don't know. I mean, they're the ones that make the rules. It's really only by their pleasure.
I don't care for the freedom movement. I don't care for the violence. But I'm not gonna stop anyone who wants to incite it. I understand the impulse. I just want to be left alone. He hands you the sword. Here. You take it.
Thank you. How much do I owe you?
It's fine.
Thank you. Oh,
Now, there's
my
a
back.
problem here.
Uh-huh.
You may not have jurisdiction, but you do have jurisdiction over Nexus 8s, no matter where they are.
Hell yeah.
Which means, officially, your job is to kill him. You don't need orders for that to become your immediate job. Will you?
Use the
Or
same
will you
sword.
let it go?
Like,
I'm gonna let him go.
Take a humanity point.
Technically, I no longer really work for the RDU. I work for Wallace. And they haven't said shit about me killing Nexus 8s.
And on that technicality, you will receive one more humanity point for not killing a Nexus 8. So, you leave with a sample sword. And he's given you about as much information as you need. That's what the manipulation is. Like, you try to get out of him without having to ask. He doesn't realize what you were asking.
Mhm.
You leave, and then you receive the call from Echo and Elijah. What does Echo call in? He said, if they're done?
yeah, I'm gonna say, me and Elijah went out to the factory. We've been scouting around. We're on a ground car, actually. But looking out here, there's a spinner. Looks a lot like L's. I don't know if it is L's, but it's the same spinner. It's the same style. Something's going on out here. If you guys are wrapping up, maybe join us.
Let's find. Oh, I'm still in deep cover. No, let's find a place. Let's find a place where we can meet nonchalantly, where the locals can't see us.
You don't want to investigate the factory? Because L's people are in there right now. That's what Echo means.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, yeah, they're moving transports in and out.
Oh, gotcha.
Transports coming in are loaded down. Transports leaving are empty or less so.
Yeah,
GM,
I suggested we should wait.
I have a question. Can I, before I left my spinner, could I have, gotten either one of the 20 gauges or one of the assault rifles and put it under my coat, just kind of as a
Sure.
backup weapon?
Sure.
Okay. I'll take an
Body
assault
armor,
rifle.
by the way, is going to be stretched to hide.
No, I'm
The
not
undershirt
gonna be
can
wearing any
be.
body armor. I will probably wear the undershirt body armor, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna wear the undershirt body armor, and I'm gonna grab one of the assault rifles, put it under my trench coat, and basically just kind of be tailing or not tailing, but shadowing Evie. And as soon as Echo sends that message, George will be like, I'll be there I'll be there ASAP. Evie, if you're done chatting with your friend, I think it would be cool if you could come with us.
No, I definitely will. I don't know how we should maybe go about this, if I should still try and gain the trust of some of these people, maybe in the warehouse, or if I should go with you, or are we just doing recon?
I think that. So George will be like, I think that I don't know how many of them are in there, and he'll ask Echo and Elijah, how many people
4.
in there did you clock? 4? So there's 4 from the car, but how many that are working inside of the place?
Elijah
I
saw
don't think
2.
we were able to...
You saw 2, but
okay.
you are...
2.
I mean, you saw 2, but that doesn't mean there are
Okay.
only 2. That's all you saw.
Okay. George will kind of there will be a bit of dotting for a little bit, kind of like a loading prompt.
I'll
And he will
also
say,
point out that Evie and George are the only ones that have not been seen by any living member of L or her people.
okay.
Because there were living members that our elves saw. Oh, and Elijah too, actually. Never mind. Echo's the only one that's
Yeah.
been seen by L.
I thought she did see me because she nearly took me out with her sniper.
Yeah, but she was looking from the back, so if you do a bit of change...
Oh,
Remember
got
the
it.
sniper
Yeah.
was on the back of your head, so she didn't really
It was on the
see
back of my
what you
head.
look like.
Okay.
And
George
George
will say-
shoved you out of the way, so mostly his body's been seen, but she hasn't seen you face to face. It'll be easy
Yeah.
to disguise.
George will say, hot take. Echo, you're a good driver. Why don't you and I meet back up at your spinner? Evie and Evie can knock on the door, try and get in via subterfuge. Elijah, you can come in from another place. You're really good with a gun, and from what I heard around the precinct, you actually just got a little bit of extra specialty. So maybe having you on Overwatch, and then Echo and I can come in. Echo can drive, and I can man the 50 cal. And if we need to, we can rain hell down on these fuckers from on high. And then we can also get the fuck out really fucking quick if we need to.
So you mean to say, just to go over the plan one more time, you say me and Evie go in, while you two sit in car and hope for the best?
No, I'm saying Evie goes in, you go in from a different thing, Echo and I man the car, and if Evie can clock them and find out if they know anything, or just clock where they are, we can come in as soon as we hear that, and we can then blast the living shit out of the thing. Essentially, and George will say, "I'm sorry, Evie, but I'm using you as the bait."
I mean, that's
Or the ferret,
fair.
the ferret as using a hunter's term.
That's honestly fair. It's kind of what I would have suggested anyway. So
Remember how this went last time we tried to infiltrate? So
I was just thinking that.
But last time we didn't bring an armored car with a 50 caliber autocannon on it.
Also, last time, you weren't facing an entire armory of very illegal, high-powered weapons.
That's true.
This is not a good idea, I think. We don't know what's inside. The last time you guys tried something like this, George Stone got promoted to lieutenant real fast.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe going into the warehouse today is a little fast. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I could set down roots out here and try and maybe infiltrate the freedom movement. I don't know if everyone else wants to stay out here, but I think that maybe that might be the easiest way to get to L.
I will say, I stand out like sore thumb. He stands out like sore thumb. And he stands out like sore thumb. She looks like she belongs. Infiltration is probably going to be best idea. Taking it slow, not drawing too much attention. Sorry, Captain, but I like to keep myself on this side of the world.
Since Evie and Echo,
I appreciate the vote of confidence, but it's lieutenant, not captain.
Since Evie and Echo were the ones inside the last infiltration, I'd like you both to roll insight. Basically, see what you've learned.
Well, whatever we learned, we're going in armed.
Jesus.
You for real this time, yeah.
Don't worry
you
about
guys
pushing.
Went in unarmed.
Okay. Evie, when Elijah points out about the promotion and land, Silver Phantom sent a +2. We have 5. 4 +2s, 1 +2 related to combat, and 1 -2 for everyone for anyone who makes an X roll except for Evie, which means that was Echo. So yeah, no, Echo fails regardless. At least the -2 is cleared out, and it didn't go to Evie this time. Okay, so there are no more -2s.
Them, though. I wanted to collect all of the -2s.
Oh, it went to the next row, and Miserable Junkie decided it was not for you.
I know. I appreciate that, Miserable Junkie.
When Elijah points out what happened to Lance and how everything played out, it replays in your head like a trauma. But beyond that trauma, there's something you're able to pick out. The plan was to have you two come in, earn her trust, and Lance plays negotiator. That plan went out the window when George threatened to shoot, or when George said open the window. Because that is the time that she figured out that you had a sniper waiting. Which means that this wasn't just a negotiation. Whether you want to do it or not is dependent on you. But if it's strictly infiltration, you think you have the skills needed to go inside the factory, learn what you can, because you're on a roll right now. You think you have the skill to go in the factory and learn what you can and leave, assuming that violence is not the end goal, meaning don't go shooting at something. You're going there strictly for intelligence and then leaving.
Okay.
You know you have the skill to do that. It's a matter of, is that a risk you want to take? Because this could be your most direct route for information and a chance to learn from previous mistakes. But that depends on you. Is that a risk you want to take and bring up to the group?
Yeah, I think I will. I'll reiterate that just to save time. I could go in by myself. I think I can gain the trust of these people, especially if I go in with, unfortunately, you all being human is not benefiting in this particular situation. After the conversation I had with the Smith, I think that they may only trust replicants. And they have scanners. They will check.
George will not send any words back, but he will just send two emojis. One of a thumbs up, and the second of an emoji version of that picture he showed you before. And then he'll just say, "Be safe."
Will
so Blinn
consider
is,
this third ship.
Blinn is,
Go ahead.
Blinn is to still have Evie go in, and then myself find a different way in, and have Echo and George be back at the vehicle. I know it's very dangerous, but it's also really good backup plan in case things do go south. At least we have coverage on the way out.
Yeah.
Because the last time we didn't have massive firepower, and we kind of all went in there because as soon as we started losing control, we all kind of just went in there, and a lot of death almost happened. So let's try not to do that this time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna
consider
keep
this
our
third
heads
shift.
on straight.
Okay.
Because it's nearby. The time shouldn't take that much to go in. You guys are on standby. Evie walks in. Or, sorry, you get to the gate, the guards look at you. Buying, selling.
Buying.
They scan you, not for replicant, but to check if you have any weapons on you. I assume you would have left your RDU
I
stuff
have the
behind.
sword. Yeah,
Yep.
I left all my RDU stuff. My gun. Don't really
Yeah.
use guns. Don't need them. I do have my sword on my back.
That's familiar. And inside, he opens the door for you. The four men that Echo pointed out are in there. You see them. And they have crates and crates and crates and crates of explosives. And they're handing off some chinian. And then one of the crates of ammunition. And a few weapons. You go in. There's a guy who goes up to you. Welcome to our little emporium. What can I do for you?
Just looking for some firepower right now. Just looking to stock up before I make my way further west or further north.
Depends on the kind of firepower you're looking for, sweetheart. We've got a small to defend yourself with. We've got big to offend someone else. And we've got I don't want you to exist anymore levels of firepower. Our weapons range from open casket funeral to nothing to bury.
Yeah, I'd like to go with some cremation, maybe.
He thinks,
Turn my enemies to dust.
well now, that's a mighty fine order indeed. Rick, I hope that our customers here haven't spent all of our heavy firepower. This little lady's looking for something juicy. We still have a few more in the back, boss. Wonderful, wonderful. Let's get this on. Flamethrowers, if you're being literal. We've got napalm grenades. We've got RPGs, which I would not recommend unless you have somewhere to store them. They're highly illegal to be holding out anywhere else. And one of the four guys puts their hand on the salesman. I want to talk to her. Alright, I'll be right here if you need anything. And he looks at you. Now what does someone like you need that much firepower for?
I don't know, he just offered. Thought it might be fun.
You a skin job too?
Yeah.
He just looks at the sword like he somehow has an understanding the guy wouldn't have given this to a human.
Is that a problem?
No. In fact, it's wonderful. You, looking to have some fun, right?
As much as I can, while I still can.
Roll your manipulation. There are 5 + 2s with one of them floating for combat.
I'm gonna use one, and I'm gonna
Go
roll
ahead.
at advantage.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. 2 successes. He looks to you. Why don't you come with us? Depending on how much fun you want to have, we might provide.
Can I do an inside check? Are they hitting on me
Yes, you
again?
can. Go ahead.
I'm like, what kind of fun are we talking about?
Is this a crit? That is a crit.
Yeah.
No, we're not hitting on you. In fact,
Okay, cool.
you might have done this a little too well because they're recruiting you. Or they're checking if you're worth recruiting.
Hell yeah.
He's-
Okay, yeah.
He
with
is
him.
checking you up and down, but the moment you see his body language, he's not checking you out. He's checking
Yeah.
if you are combat built, because you did admit you're a replicant.
He's sizing me up. He's not
Yeah.
checking me out.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He's looking at you, seeing how well built you are. It looks like he wants to recruit you. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Hey, Will. You got potential in this one. Says she's looking for fun. The explosive kind. Bring her in. We'll show you fireworks. And you just smile. And they ask you for help carrying the boxes, also testing how strong you are. And the rest of you are
so
seeing...
easily.
Lift the box up, no problems.
Yeah.
The rest of you are seeing Evie walk out with the 5 of them, lifting the boxes into a carrier vehicle this time, not the spinner they came in. And you're gonna be leaving with them. Unfortunately, this is where we're going to have to end for the evening, because it is 8 p.m. Evie is being willingly kidnapped.
Really quick before we go. It doesn't, to me as a player, it doesn't matter if she clocks this now or otherwise or later, but George silently on her thing will send one message before she gets into the car, and he will say, "I trust you."
The problem is,
And that's it.
when I told Evie, you're not carrying your RDU gear. That includes
fuck.
phones and KIAs
have
because you can't
Okay,
do
yeah.
that. So
Damn it,
you
son
are
of a bitch. Okay.
off the clock. But
Okay.
we will pick up right there, which is unfortunately a 4th shift, which means all of you are getting stress. You can spend one of the +2s to alleviate that stress, but we'll decide on that next week. I will put in the chat how many +2s we have for my reference next week. But for now, let's get together, meet our players, tell everyone who you are, where they can find you, and what you might be up to. Starting with Echo.
I'm Echo. I'm here on Cybernation Uncensored, the Discord, hanging out, posting stuff. I think last thing I posted was guns and chopstick, Blade Runner chopstick holders, which were Blade Runner spinner chopstick. Come on by the Discord, hang out. We're always around. And other than that, playing Cyberpunk. And this.
And Shockman.
Hey guys, Michael Shockman. Yeah, this was amazing. I'm kind of dumbfounded. But anyway, you can find me here on the Cybernation Uncensored Discord at Shockman parentheses he him. You can also find me over here on Twitch on my channel at twitch.tv/DM Shockman. Kitty. You can also find me over on YouTube at youtube.com/ at Michael Shockman, as well as at the DM Shockman Institute. You can also find me on Twitter. And yeah, I post things regularly on YouTube. I do weekly live streams. Currently I'm getting close to finishing up my thing of the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, and I'm looking forward to getting back to some Star Wars The Old Republic eventually, so looking forward to that. So yeah.
George Lee.
Hey, I'm George Lee. You can find me on Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram at George Lee with 2 Y's. And you can also see me every week on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. PST for Neon Lords of Toxic Wasteland, because it's really fun and very silly. There are rats with megaphones and all sorts of really funny stuff.
And Noland, GM for said game.
Hey guys. Yes, GM Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland. It has been quite an adventure, as Miserable Junkie can attest, with all the chat here. It's been a great game. I'm glad to be running it, but besides that, I play Elijah Payne here in the Cybernation Uncensored game called Blade Runner, hosted by Nigel, a wonderful GM. Very, very entertaining and very dramatic. I hope chat enjoys when he spills the tea, and the fact that we keep quiet because it's story time when Nigel spills tea.
Well, thank you. But other than that, everyone just join the Discord, have some fun, maybe join a few games. When this is over, there are some plans of me running Deadlands, the Weird West. In case anyone might be interested in trying to sign up for that.
I am looking forward to that. For
now, just join our Discord, have some fun with us, and we will see you again next week. Thank you everyone for joining us. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Cybernation Uncensored.